How did I get here? Up on the stage? That was almost easy, walking up the stage in these heels. But I mean, how did I get here to the point in my life where I'm on this stage speaking to all of you? That was not necessarily easy. But my story is not unique. There's plenty of us who've had opportunities and that have gone sideways, full of obstacles, challenges, days where you're saying, how the hell did I get here? What's going on? Then you're gonna find those people, we all know those people, that we consider lucky, never seem to have a care in the world, never talk about any challenges or problems, and just kind of go along with life, and we perceive them exactly where they planned on being. So what's the difference? Just that, a plan. Well, I thought I had goals. I said I was going to do a lot of things. And then all that kind of came to an end in 2010. Yeah, that year, 2010, when what I considered my dream opportunity came to an end. My household quickly went from 2 professionals with pretty decent income. One of them was an architect, so you guys are all in that industry. You know what that time was like. So our household went from 2 professionals with decent income to 2 people looking for that next project, scrambling for clients, wondering, how did we get here and what's next? When my opportunity ended, I kind of went into a 2-year funk of, what am I doing? Who do I want to focus on? Who do I want my clients to be, and what's my niche market? How do I reinvent myself to get out of here? Well, in 2012, I was invited to a holiday party by someone I consider a friend and a mentor. And considering the economic standing in our household, I thought, cool, free wine and food, I'm going, right? So I went, and we're walking around, we're enjoying the free wine and food. And we're up at a table talking to people, and I thought, at this point in my life, this is a great opportunity to market myself, network, make some new connections. Except this person that I consider a friend and a mentor calls me out. Talking to people I don't know, she says, you know what Sandi's problem is? She is like yellow on the stoplight. And I don't know about you, but that does not look like me. I didn't think so. But because she was somebody I really value her opinion, I thought about that. It really just, it got to me. And so the next few days, maybe even a month, I started wondering who else perceived me as cautious. I mean, I've gone skydiving. I've been an entrepreneur for, at that time, about 17 years. I've played women's professional tackle football. I've got the pinky to prove it, and I've got screws at home in a jar from my broken leg. Those are pretty fearless, I thought. But what does that mean for everybody else? Well, shortly after that comment from my friend, I was really excited. I saw on Facebook that a friend of mine in this economic downturn had quit a really good paying job to open up a store, kind of an inspirational art store. I mean, who does that? She left a good income to take that chance. So I run downstairs and I tell my boyfriend about this. And he looks at me and he goes, why are you always so excited for everyone else, but never for you? And I'm like, come on. You know, everybody is coming down on me. I'm in the middle of what am I doing with my life time. So that really stuck with me, and I had to take a look and reflect on what's going on. Why are these things coming to me, and why are people saying these things? Well, what did I find out during that time? That they were right. And that my life had been guided by a 4-letter word. No, not that one, but it does start with an F. Fear. Never let fear control your fate. Well, evidently I had. We all fear something. Who here fears snakes? Spiders? Clowns? Yes. We hear people talk about fear of failure, fear of success. But do you ever hear anyone stand up and yell, I fear life? That actually feels pretty good. I'm afraid of the unknown. And at that time, I was horrified of what was going to happen and what was going on in my life. So what did I do? Well, I got through it all, and I created what I thought was the next steps. Okay? So I ask you, what is something you guys have wanted to do? Have you created a plan or a goal? Set it up as a goal. Have you created that plan? Well, this is my new favorite saying. A goal without a plan is just a wish. And that's what I was doing. I was saying I was going to do all these things, and evidently I was wishing they were going to happen. A goal can help you stay focused and see if fear is creeping into your life. It can help you. It's not going to be foolproof, but you can recognize things like that. And now I'm looking down, and I have no idea. Okay. This does not count against my time. There we go. Okay. So anyway, we're going to just move along without the slides. So anyway, goal without a plan is just a wish. I've sort of lost track, and that even beats the lack of sleep from last night with the electricity. So are we going to? Okay, you're. I'll see. If I can use my sheets, I'll just know where I am. Oh. Oh, okay. Actually, can you just hand me the sheets there? That'll help me. Yeah, no. That way I don't drop this. And this is all on camera. Can we edit this part out? All right, so you want me to just go? All right, all right. So my new favorite saying is the goal without a plan is just a wish. So the comment from my mentor was just the kick in the ass that I needed. It made me think, and there's a great slide that has people up there thinking. It made me really look back on my life to see how far back fear, there it is, yeah, to see how far back fear had gotten into my life. So far back to when I was from upstate New York, forced to move to Indiana when I was 6 3/4 years old. And I was a little restless, but I look back at that time when I was in upstate New York, and fear can sometimes cause you to make good decisions, like after I saw a family friend fall out of a great big tree, but when you're 5, big things are a lot bigger. So at that time, fear caused me to do a good thing and not climb that tree. But then, what about those times when fear gets to you and causes you to paralyze you, to where you won't take that step? Years and years of regret. 37 years of regret, actually. When I was 8 years old, growing up in Indiana, we have the Indy 500. Lived in Brownsburg, which is a racing town. I wanted to be a race car driver. The company my father worked for sponsored 2 race car drivers, and one was Janet Guthrie. She was a good driver. So, 8 years old, everyone wants to be a race car driver, right? But I was so afraid I wouldn't tell him until July 8th of this year. I lived with that fear and that regret for 37 years. So what was I so afraid of? Him telling me no, him being disappointed, him saying, you can't do that. So how many of you have lived with that dream and goal, held that in for fear of hearing those words? How many of you have actually shared a dream or a goal? And they've actually said those things to you. Don't quit your day job. No one will buy that. That's dumb, right? Well, so now I'm not sure where we are. So, you look at that, and how can you get through that, right? How can you get through how that makes you feel? Well, 2 things happened when I started looking back at that. I had some decisions to make, and I really reflected, obviously, very far back in my life. Well, one big aha moment was that I actually had no plan myself. It's hard to have a plan when you're 8 years old. But why not at 15? Why didn't I just say those words to my father and then start creating that? So after that comment from my mentor, I had some decisions to make and some things to look at. And two things happened. Well, I always talked about moving out of state, moving when I was little, or when I graduated high school. And then again, when I graduated college. My sister was 2 years older. She had already moved out of town. And I thought, well, I'll get out. I'll get out of Indiana because, there's got to be more than that. Coming from upstate New York, we were just kind of stuck in this flatlands. Well, both times I tried to move, my grandma would call and be like, who's going to take care of your mother? Herself. I mean, she was not the healthiest person, but she could take care of herself if she wanted to. But I used those guilt trips as a reason to stay and feel stuck. I blamed them for me having to stay in Indiana. Were they going to ground me if I moved? No. Then fast forward to, I have an 11-year-old daughter. And I was like, now's the time to move. Now's the time to get out while I can, right? Well, somebody threw a fit. Who here has ever seen an 11-year-old girl throw a fit? Guess who won? Well, she's 20 right now, and she's back there. Yeah, my excuse that time? Well, we can't move. She has friends now. Years later, she was like, I don't know why you just didn't move us. I would have gotten over it. Well, then I thought, okay, she's going to graduate. 2013's come around. She's graduating high school. I'm gone. I'm leaving. Well, okay. My boyfriend and I had talked about moving. We talked a lot about it. I obviously told so many people that when she graduated high school, people were like, where are you going? When are you moving? So we talked about it, and I went and said, okay. And he said, well, I can't move. My son's getting ready to start the 7th grade. Here I am, stuck in Indiana again. I was mad for about a year. So it's like 2014, recently. I blamed him for not getting out. Well, that comment from my mentor and that time of reflection created an opportunity for me to realize I had no plan. I hadn't taken that first step towards doing anything I said I was going to do. So here I am looking at what I'm going to do next. Well, after that time of reflection, I had to do two things, which was let my boyfriend off the hook. It was not his fault I hadn't moved. And I had to practice what I preach. I had to create that plan. I took that big step, and it felt like that. I created that plan, and I'm here on stage speaking to all of you. I've created opportunities to travel. It's expensive to move, and I had no idea where I even would want to move. But now I'm creating the opportunities to travel. We're talking about where to move, where we would even like to move, so we can create opportunities to visit. After that recession, it's not cheap. It kind of blew the whole economy, and it's not cheap to move. So you have to create those opportunities and pay off the debt and save up money to move. But it's all part of the plan. And then instead of whining about all my friends that left Indiana and moved and left me there, I'm talking to them and I'm tapping into their networks. Because as an entrepreneur, how do you expand and grow your business without any networks, without any connections? You can't market yourself with no networks. You guys are all here from all over the United States, creating connections. And until recently, I had none of that. So what can you do? You can take that step. You can define that goal, create that plan, and tell the world. You're always going to have naysayers, people who say, you can't do that, don't quit your day job. Because they're so full of fear themselves, it's probably afraid that they're going to lose you when you achieve your success. You're going to find those people who only appreciate people who are successful, so they'll like you and talk to you when you're at the finish line with your trophy. And then you'll find those people that will pick you up when you trip over that roadblock, brainstorm with you when you find that challenge, and will kill those spiders, snakes, and scary clowns so you can continue down your path. Live fearlessly. My plan is in place. Again, I'm here on stage speaking to all of you. I'm not saying my plan, with a plan, it's not going to be scary, but it's helping me keep focused on what I want. So I want to thank Holly Bolton. I don't know who all of you, if you guys know her, but without her, I wouldn't have even known about the opportunity to put in a proposal to speak today. So I want to thank her. I thanked my mentor for calling me out in 2012. And that was a defining moment in my life. So with all that said, I'll leave you with this. Just for today I am here. Where are you? Thank you.